Hey guys, this is Hale from HES Ultimage, and this is a tutorial on crystal meditation. Hey guys, and yes, I did have one of these before, took it down during that period where I was like refreshing everything, and now I'm gonna do it again. I'm not gonna say the F word this time, because I'm determined to have everybody be able to access this damn video. It's like you're gonna be monitoring me the whole time. You're like, damn it, he's gonna say it, isn't he? He can't help himself. Alright, here we go. Alright, so this video will be to teach you the essentials of crystal meditation. It is very simple. Anyone can do it. I've taught a lot of people how to do it, even just in my family and in my personal life. So I think it's just like something that everybody finds like, very accessible, very universal. And for anybody who is looking to expand on their spiritual path, this is literally how I got started. Like, no joke. Crystal meditation is how I begun to feel more comfortable with my own abilities, my own, at the time, intuition, even though now it was just a connection to spirit and, all that good stuff, which I didn't realize until much later. But it all started with crystal meditation for me. And like I was always attracted to things like tarot and crystals and stuff like that. Literally, from a young age, I was always attracted to crystals. Like, they used to have those science stores. I always used to go straight to the crystals. And even owned some, from when I was a child. And my dad actually kept them and gave them back to me when he knew I was, when I moved forward with everything. It was just kind of funny. But so with crystal meditation, here's how I look at it. Some people, there's some really great websites. I mean, I would say on the internet, crystal meditation resources and understanding the metaphysical properties of crystals on the internet is really great. There are some phenomenal resources, and I'll probably put some in the comment section of the video so you can access my favorites. But like, compared to other things where it's like advice about connecting to spirit and all, which can kind of be really confusing on the internet, crystal meditation advice on the internet is really pretty decent. But again, like, I just don't want to do my part as, the person that you get your readings and all from too, to be your personal tutor on this. And also because I believe that it's something that's, like, just really great for all people. I really don't think I could imagine anybody who would not benefit from crystal meditation, And yeah, it's like, that's just the large and short of it. There are people who like to use crystals for things related to medical or bodily ailments. I am not one of those people. For me, crystal meditation has always been about the cultivation and expansion of our personal energy and our personal, okay, we hate this word, but aura. And that's what I aim crystal meditation towards. It's about gaining more self-empowerment, more stability, more structure and control, and, empowerment in general, because there are some really phenomenal feelings you can get from crystals. Yeah, there we go. Confirmation. Anyhow, so we're going to get started. All right, we'll just get started. All right, here we go. So you will get a crystal. Sometimes I would always operate with a set of crystals and make the set things that felt good together and were towards a particular purpose. I had one set that I called the Superman set, where most of it was all like crown and third eye kind of stuff, and I would get like the most awesome head high in the world and just feel like everything was all like puppies and rainbows for a day. That's the other important thing to tell you. I think this is a cool thing to know about crystals, if you're getting started. When you meditate with a crystal, it lasts you for like the day after you do it, or the day that you do it, depending on if you're doing it at night or in the morning. I used to do it at night before I would go to bed, so the whole next day I would have that particular crystal pack's energy and style and, energetic vibe. If you carry a crystal, you can feel its energy and all and get the benefits of its energy. It operates on a lower frequency, but it's still a nice thing. Like, there's some crystals that I have that literally, like, my sunstone did not want to be meditated with. I know, it sounds crazy, but every time I would try, it would fight me on it. And then I finally started carrying it, and it felt awesome. It was like having a glass of orange juice every morning. Like, that's what, for me, that felt like carrying it. Because when you carry or have it on your body, it's different than when you meditate with it. It just is. Like, I want you to imagine when you're meditating with a crystal that you are sucking in its energy like you would suck a drink, like soda or something, through a straw, okay? Or vitamin water if you're being very self-conscious about the health implications of soda. But anyhow, and I'm going to explain this more as I go into the rest of this tutorial. But anyhow, so you'll pick a crystal or two that you're particularly interested in. In this video, I have a piece of yellow fluorite, which was very, very beautifully given to me as a gift by a friend of my brother's. So thank you to her very much for that. And what you're gonna do, okay, we're getting into it now. So now we pay attention, and I'm focusing here. What you're gonna do is, with a crystal this large, I suggest putting it in your palm. I know you're like, God, this is so obvious. Okay. And you're going to have an opening phrase. Okay, this is really important. This is where you get into things. And again, it's super easy, guys. Not lying. It's super, super easy. You're going to have an opening phrase. And it could be like, name of the crystal. So in this case, it would be yellow fluorite. I'm open to receiving your gifts. And then you'll start to feel the energy flood into you. I always say imagine it as if it's going through your veins or whatever and into your body. Some people just feel it directly in the area that it's, related to, or in their general energetic vicinity. But I like to imagine it that way because it's a lot easier for you to feel the opening and the shut off. Because when you're crystal meditating, it's like you're turning a faucet on and then you're turning the faucet off. And I'm going to include that other information about what you want to be weary of when you're meditating, to better accommodate that state. But anyhow, so once you do that, you will feel the energy, going into your body. Different crystals have a different type of energy and a different type of feeling. I've meditated with lots of crystals, guys. And I would hope to do a whole series of videos about what each crystal, means to me. And because this is something nobody ever does, at least not from what I've ever seen. I literally describe what it feels like physically to use the crystal. I know I had a few of those up before and people did watch them, and, it was a cool thing to have. But anyhow, so you'll feel whatever that energy is that the crystal winds up making you feel. Some crystals have a really happy feeling. Some crystals have a really soothing feeling. Some crystals have a really big, power surge. Like it's a warm energy, it's a hot energy. Orange in particular, and I'm a big solar plexus, big sacral chakra kind of guy. Let's say orange kyanite and zincite, those are very big, or zincite, I'm not sure how it's pronounced with that one, sorry guys, have really that very hot and intense, power-driven kind of energy. And then you've got stuff like lapis or iolite that can make you feel super spaced and really I call it a head high, and it's a natural high. My brother lives in Colorado, so it's not that kind of a high. But yeah, so different crystals give you different sensations. And again, I'll try and go into that stuff in other videos if I can. But anyhow, so, once you feel like you've sufficiently taken in the energy, and you'll know because it'll just feel good and you'll feel satisfied, okay? It's kind of like feeling like you're eating and then you're full and you're like, okay, I'm done. That could last a few minutes, that could last 5 minutes, that could last 10 minutes. I always say go deep with the ones that you find are the most empowering for you and the ones that you feel the vibe of the strongest. And save the ones, like if you're doing a pack like I do, which was like 7 to 8 crystals in a sequence of like pairs or trios. I'll go into that more. Then like you would want to start with the ones that you feel the vibration of the least or have the lightest energy, and finish with the ones with the highest and deepest energy, so you go longer later in your meditation. I think that's the best way of doing it. I mean, for me it was. But anyhow, once you are done and you feel full or sufficed, whatever, then you will have your shut off saying, which in this case could be, yellow fluorite. I thank you for your gifts, and I thank God for allowing me for receiving them. That's my personal one that I usually say. You could say, universe, whatever. And I mean, literally, you can say anything for your opening and closing sayings. I always said, like, for your opening, you can be like, yellow fluorite, rock on! Like, I don't know, like, you can say whatever the heck you want, as long as you're signaling, to, okay, yourself, the crystal, spirit, whatever, that you're ready to take it in, and then you're ready to close it off, okay? That's the most important thing. Like, you can't really close it off with nothing, because you're not signaling to your, your brain, your body, your channel, really, that you're closing off, okay? So, pretty damn simple, I would say, right, guys? Here we go. Now I'm going to go into some of the other details of things. So with the crystal that's like fairly sizable, I use my palm. Here's a tricky thing, and a lot of people, might not wind up doing this, but some might. There are also these crystals that only come in a small size, because they're so hard to find in a larger specimen, and not only that, but if you get a larger specimen of some of them, it's really friggin' expensive. This is Aqua Aura quartz, okay? So this one you would actually hold in your fingers. And it's the same idea, it's the same kind of sensation, and it's funny. Sometimes when I hold one in my fingers, usually those are the really high energy ones that are really small. You can like literally feel your whole hand buzzing, okay? So don't underestimate the little crystals that you can hold in your fingers. You would still meditate that way. You would just, do it that way. I close my eyes when I meditate. I like to do it that way. For me, it's easier to go into the state and out of the state doing that, because here's the thing. When you get into meditative state, your brain gets really, really into a slow frequency. I can literally feel how slow or how fast my brain is cycling, basically. Because, I mean, I'm a creative person, so I know that the creative wave is, like, really rapid and really fast. Meditation, for crystal meditation brainwave, is really slow. Like, literally, one time I was doing it, and my mom was trying to talk to me from the other side of the door, and I was talking very, very slow, because I was still tapped in. And she's like, why are you talking so slow? And it's like, because my brain isn't functioning at the same level, on the same frequency. And you do not want to snap out of the meditative state too fast. That's why we have our open valve, close valve. You don't want to just go, oh, I'm out. That is not good, and it does not feel good. All right, I'm going to describe what that feels like. When you snap out of the meditative state without working yourself out of it, it feels like you snap your brain like a rubber band. Okay, and I'm not kidding. I've felt it before a few times when I was first starting out. Like, it literally feels like you go, snap, and it doesn't hurt you, but it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel comfortable. It's the same way with the rubber band. The rubber band doesn't break, but does it hurt? Yeah. Does it not feel great? Yeah. Does it feel weird? Yeah. So it is important when you're doing crystal meditation to have a space that's quiet and where you know that you're not going to be interrupted. So it's best to like pick out a time when you know you're not going to be, interrupted by somebody else. So it's kind of about finding your own time. And again, it really doesn't have to be that long, guys. I mean, like, on some sites, they're like, you need to meditate with this crystal for hours before you let go of it. It's like, no! I've never had that experience where I had to meditate with one crystal for an hour. Never. Not even one crystal for a half hour. for me, it really is between that like 5 to 10 minute ratio tops that you really need to meditate with a single crystal. I mean, if it feels good, then go longer if you want, maybe to 15 if you really wanted to. But honestly, it isn't necessary. You don't need to in order to get the benefits, okay? It's not to say that going deep doesn't have a greater benefit. It can, but it's not necessary to do so to the extreme. God, I feel like I need like a skateboarding kind of pose with that. To the extreme. All right. Anyhow, so here's another thing that I was talking about, the idea of pairing crystals or doing trios, whatever. Let's say you've got a tiny one that you can hold in your fingers. You've got the bigger one you can put in your palm. You can meditate with both of these at the same time. Just let them know they're working together, okay? Like, I'll always say that they're in combination, and sometimes I'll have, like, a keyword that's, like, synchronize, you know? And that'll be, you know, what triggers to me the idea that, you know, that we're melting the energy together. Because that's the other thing. I always say when you first get a crystal, use it on its own, just to get used to its own natural feeling and its own solo feeling before you add it with another, just because like you want to know what it feels like on its own. Because once you put them together, they don't feel quite the same. Sometimes it's way better, and sometimes it kind of blocks it out. Like, for example, when I use cleansing crystals, I only use those on their own. And like I use, okay, cleansing crystals, because, you know, you don't want to try cleansing too much at the same time with, like, doing, like, pairs or trios with that stuff, because cleansing takes more focus than taking energy in for power, empowerment, positivity, etc. Like, when you're doing cleansing, you have to really focus on that one thing, and that's it. I use Lemurian quartz with my, my cleansing crystals, which just amps the energy up. So I would say if you're going to do cleansing crystals, the only thing you want to, you know, pair them with or trio them with are stones that are amping their energy, like quartzes, Herkimer diamonds, etc. Or other ones that, you know, are more fluid in that way and like can be used for amplification. But anyhow, yeah, but I would say any other crystals you can really use in combination, and it's kind of a process of trial and error, really. Different people respond to different things. Different people connect to different crystals differently. Like, literally, one time I was in a shop, I was looking for Picasso jasper for someone, and, because that clears out my mind like nothing else. And the lady in the shop was like, I don't carry Picasso jasper. It doesn't do anything for me. I'm like, what are you talking about? Picasso jasper is so awesome. But it's that kind of thing. Different people's bodies react differently to crystals, and different people need different crystals for different reasons, you know? So it's important to know that it's not a one-size-fits-all, that, like, okay, if one friend's really nuts about this one crystal and you're just not vibing on it, it's fine, who cares? Like, it's really amazing how often the crystals that you're attracted to are exactly what you need anyhow. I had this one friend, and she was constantly gravitating to all these light blue crystals, and they were all relative to soothing energy, releasing stress, releasing anxiety, which was exactly what she was needing at that time. It's the same way with anybody else. Like, for me, all of mine were, like, you know, increased power, increased intuition. I started with crystal meditation to increase, you know, I went with crystals that were related to increasing clairsentience, which, as everybody knows, is my number one intuitive sector. But yeah, so that is like the basics. Let me think if I'm forgetting anything, because I don't think I am. I think we're doing pretty good for the 101. But again, it's really important. I'm going to drive this in again because I think this is really important to stress to people. You do not want to just jump out of the meditative state. Some stones, it's easier to do that, actually. Some are really accessible to some. Okay, when you're closing the valve, some of them close really quick. I have had that experience, not with a lot, but with a few. So sometimes you will find that, you can ease out faster with some than others because of the comfort of your own body and your brain pattern as you're getting out of it. Because ultimately, what are we doing? We're going into another brainwave. We're going into, what one might consider a trance state. So, you want to be aware that when you're recalibrating your brainwaves and stuff, you don't want to do it all jerky and crazy. It's kind of like a person shifting a gear in a car, You want to try and make that as fluid as possible. Like, literally, when I'm getting out of a state, sometimes I will literally feel myself easing in again and coming back into my regular brainwave again, my regular breathing pattern as well. And I will literally, actually swivel the stone around in my palm and, begin to breathe in more again, move my fingers, because it's going to give you more connection to your body again, more connection to your own sense of sensation again. So I think that's really important. I would highly suggest doing that before you, just open your eyes again and you're like, hello world, I'm back. Okay? That said, I think we're pretty good for Crystal Meditation 101. God, is there anything else I want to say? Again, you want to go with the crystals that you're attracted to. If you want to look it up online, look for crystals that are in line with the types of things you want to achieve. And that's the other thing. They list, 50 different things that one crystal can be. So to me, it's always most important for you to feel the energy, and you'll understand what it makes you feel and how it makes you feel, and that becomes what's paramount. Because again, different crystals, I never edit my videos, Freudian slip, I guess, whatever. Different crystals are brought to different people, see, I was going to say people, for different reasons, okay? So you really want to, go with your gut about which crystals you're choosing. Yeah, they're giving me a that's right about that. They really want to stress that. That you want to go with the crystals that you're most attracted to, that you think will be most in line with your best growth, both spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. Because that's what I think is the best thing that crystal meditation can do, and it really is fantastic, and I've definitely come a long way from starting there. I wouldn't have been able to start doing tarot again if it weren't for me crystal meditating and feeling like I had cultivated my energy in the right way, that I could, take up that responsibility again. And as everybody knows, I've expanded a lot more beyond all of that stuff now. If you watch Understanding Spirit, My Journey Thus Far, you will know all of those things, including why I get the winks of my eye as confirmation from Spirit about stuff. Alright guys, so that said, I hope to do more crystal meditation videos to give you little suggestions about which different things feel like, and that can be very cool. Oh, and I might even do something too about, there's fire agate is always one that I would go to first because it's psychic protection, it's considered. Because when I first started crystal meditation, I would get these dreams where I would experience, these energetic drains on very rare occasion. I only had two in my life at all. But those will be stories for the fire agate video. But I always like to bring that up because, when you're beginning this process, you are opening yourself more to experiencing that level of energy differently. So you're gonna have different kinds of experiences. Again, that video, Understanding Spirit, really important video for understanding what, going through a whole spiritual process is. You can do crystal meditation and have it just aid you emotionally and psychologically and philosophically, and that would be enough. You're not going to be exposed to things that you don't want, at the end of the day, as long as, you're keeping your focus and your intentions in the places you want them, okay? But, okay, stories for another time. But that said, best of luck with crystal meditating. I hope to, make, considerably, hopefully, more videos about this. And it really is an awesome thing to be doing. I think it's something that all people should do and can do. And it feels really super awesome. So, and maybe I can even just introduce my own packs to give you an idea of what you might be able to do with them, okay, guys? Alright, that said, best of luck, and I will see you later.